Om Shanti, and welcome to the second episode of Making and Breaking of Tiny Habits. These tiny habits are really our control panels in our life. These tiny habits control our relations, control our success in life. These tiny habits makes a big role in our life. Sometimes we really get fed up of these tiny habits, but we are not able to change it. Yesterday, we understood a lot how these habits are created. And today, we'll be dealing with how to break these habits. I would like to repeat, we are not talking about good habits or bad habits. We are talking about any habit which you want to change, any habit which is creating a trouble in your life and you want to break it, because all the habits are almost a type of cyclic thinking and behavioral pattern in our daily life. This picture represents a lot detail about our tiny habits. The picture number one shows this is your mind before your habit created. This your mind is almost like a plain land. There is no curves in that. Picture number two shows the first time you get convinced to do that act. Habit is not created, but the first patch of behavior, the first delivery of my behavior based on that information, based on that convincing feeling I have done. So I disturb the settled pattern of my mind and I create one pathway over there. And the third picture here, we can see number of time I repeated, number of time. It is not a pitch road, but now my habits are no more tiny habits. They are getting stronger. I am getting habitual of it. And picture number four is now showing that it is a very strong habit. This habit overrules the involvement of intellect, and this habit is deriving you. This is how all the habits are created. Like there is a grassland, first time when you cross from there, you disturb some grass. If a very observative person can observe which path you have gone through, but later, if you are going to the same path number of time, you create a whole track over there. And if you are going on and on, unconsciously, unaware, number of time on same path, then you create a hard, strong path there, which can derive you and which is very much visible to others. Even actually, it is forcing others to get settled with you, with this pathway only, with your habit only. This is our habit. When we are normal, when we haven't become habitual, I want that picture again for some time. When I am not habitual, that is what I am like, picture number one. When I am convinced, I am picture number two. When I am repeating my same behavior number of time, it is just habitual. It is repetitive behavior. Then picture number three. And the hardcore habit is picture number four. Now, picture number four, the hardcore habit becomes problem in our life. This habit, although there are some space beside that pathway also, but this habit, this type of hardcore habit will compel the other person, compel my colleague to get settled with me on this pathway only, according to my this mentality only. Thanks for this picture. And this is how habits are formed. If I really want to go back to my originality, because I feel that these habits are creating problem in my life, then I have to work a lot behind it. Yesterday we had good questions based on, we will have those questions again, that how there are some recurring habits. We used to leave that habit, but after some time again, that habit is reoccurring in my life. So why this, how to handle the recurring habits? Basically, habits are very strong choices. And when you choose to do this, then you repeat it first few times. Your choice is going through that process of intellect, means going through the filtration analysis process through intellect. But later, once, twice, thrice it is passed, after that, intellect withdraw itself and it is no more going through that quality control process. And now this habit is created. One, information. Two, convincing yourself. Two, coming into action. And then repeating the same information. Now, here, there is no more convincing, no more quality control, and immediate action. This is called habit. How to break a habit? There are two types of habits in our life. I'm not saying it is a habit which has a big impact or small impact. The topic itself suggests tiny habits. These are very small habits which can be overlooked, but these habits have become very hardcore inside our life. This can be one small habit of keeping your socks on not right place, or throwing your wet towel on bed. That may be a very tiny habit which can be neglected. Person can get adjusted with that, but it is creating a problem in your relation. And this habit is not that big that you won't be able to come out of this habit. It's not that difficult that you cannot ignore this habit. You yourself, instead of expecting the other person to get adjusted with that habit, you cannot ignore it. But why we are not able to do this? There are many things which require to ignore to break our habits. Let's understand this with one slide. And this slide is going to give you some points. Number one is identify your habits. Number one is that identification of my habit means what? Usually, sometimes it so happen I'm not able to identify that I become habitual of doing this. It may be uttering a small word. It may be giving some satiring comments. It may be walking with lot of sound. It may be thinking negative. It may be being more sleepy. It may be anything. These are very tiny habits, and usually, we are unaware that I am habitual of this. Remember one thing: if you want to get rid of your habits will always be identified by others. Others will be able to identify that you are becoming habitual to this. So never ignore others' opinion about this. When somebody says that you are become habitual of this, think for a moment and check yourself. Because if you become habitual, it is your unaware act. And that is why it's very difficult to identify by yourself that you are habitual. And somebody giving this information to you that I'm sorry to say, but you become habitual of thinking negative, or you become habitual of sleeping more, or if you become habitual of too much eating or anything, then internally say thanks to that person that they are able to identify. This is the toughest part of identifying our hardcore habits. You just can't believe how much habitual we are. If you can do this workshop with yourself, sit with yourself and think about your habits. You know, somewhere we have become habitual of having same type of tea or coffee, same type of um, habitual of one type of pillow, or habitual of one type of food. We have become habitual of it. And for that reason, sometimes I am facing some challenges. I'm not able to make myself versatile. I'm not able to adjust everywhere. I'm not able to use the freedom of myself to eat anywhere else or be comfortable with whatever supplied to me. So, the first important thing, identifying. If somebody is helping you, going back to the slide, if somebody helping you to identify your habits, that's very good. But if they are not, try to help yourself to identify, are you habitual of it? How to identify my habit? Whenever somebody is, whenever how we the measurement of how to measure that you are habitual of this thing, you will feel a lot of pain to change your this pattern. You will not find any gain or comfort immediately when you will try to change your this behavior. That means you become habitual of this. You can habit can be anything. It may be you are habitual of one company, habitual of one chair, habitual of one headphone, habitual of one laptop. That can be anything. But once this thing has started controlling you, you are trying to reject all other such things. Then it's time to break your habit. So when you started rejections of similar but different things, then identify that you are habitual and it's time to break this habit, because rejections are not good. Now, every habit is related with one information. That first information which made you convinced about doing the first cycle of your behavior. So think about that information system. Reconsider your information system and try to change it. That one benefit or that one convincing point which allowed you to perform this act very first time. Very first time. Maybe like habit of eating too much. So the first time I ate extra, I felt like oh, very nice, sleepy, relaxed. And I felt like nobody else is looking at me. They are also comfortable in feeding me. So then I will eat it more further. So this becomes a habit later. That is why I'm saying think about the first information system which made you convinced. Unless and until you will not identify your information system, you may not be able to hit the nail to your habits. So, once the first step, identify your habits. And the second, identify and reconsider your information system. Okay, it is not troubling others. Eating too much is not troubling others. Okay, it is, I am feeling relaxed after eating so much. I am feeling very tasty feeling in my mouth after eating so much. That's all okay. But how much drowsy I become after eating a lot? How much pain my stomach get upset after eating a lot? So reconsider that information. It is not normal. It is not normal. There are three things. I'll come back to the slide again. There are three things, I always say um, normal. One is normal, one is abnormal, and one is special. Getting trapped into habits, it is little bit abnormal. It is from normal to what's abnormal. Spirituality says you become from normal, you become special. No matter you repeat your work number of time, but you repeat your work with your choice. The day you want to leave your this work or this behavior, you can. That means you are not habitual of it. You're not habitual. Repeat your work, revise that behavior, use the thing, same thing again and again, do that same thing again and again, but do it by choice. Do it consciously, not by habit. If you are doing it consciously, the day you want to leave it, you'll be able to leave it without any pain inside. But if you are doing it habitually, number one, you will not get any benefit out of it. Number two, you will feel a lot of pain to leave it. So think about it before you become habitual of all these things. Going back to the slide, and we'll go for the next step. The third number in the slide is intellect, the director of the story. Now you have to start the interference of your intellect. Once it has going to quality control process, it is not habit, it is a conscious behavior, repetitive conscious behavior, because it is all the time it is going through quality control process. But if this quality control is removed, it becomes repetitive unconscious behavior, then it becomes habit. Like uh, like um, a pilot's duty, like like using your phone. You are very much habitual of this phone. Still, you read the instructions, whatever coming in your phone. So you are consciously associated there. So you are repeating your behavior. It's not unconscious act. So, like a person who is a pilot who actually who flies that aircraft, that person is trained to fly that aircraft, and that person is repeating it every day, but consciously every time he is thinking about things. So then it is not habit, it is repetitive conscious behavior. If you want to break your habits, simple habits, throwing that wet towel on bed, very simple habit, tiny habit, you have to use intellect sometime. And for this, you have to give some time to yourself. You have to sit with yourself, give some time, and think about your habits. Once you identify your habits, once you think about that convincing information, now use your intellect. Is there any problem in this? Is it good what I am doing? What I am gaining after this? Conscious. Your intellect is working now. No problem, it is good or bad habit. But what I am gaining after that, one of our senior didis means she was our second administrative head of organization. She was Didi Manmohini, and she was a lady of very sharp intellect. She used to say one thing. She used to say that if you are meditating, after meditation, after your every meditation, हिंदी में सुनाती हूँ, वो कहती थी हर बार योग करने के बाद अपने आप से पूछो क्या पाया. After every meditation, ask yourself, what did I gain? What did I gain after today's meditation? So that your meditation should not become habitual act. It should always be a conscious act. Conscious act. Kya paya? This is intellect, work of intellect. No matter it is your good habit or bad habit. Are you gaining something out of it? Or it has become a regular robotic behavior? I just want to say, do the same behavior, not robotic. Do it consciously so that at least you are able to gain some checks out of this good habit. Sometimes we become habitual in our good habits. I would like to narrate one of my experience based on very apt for this topic. I think I have told you earlier also. There was one brother. He was an elderly brother. And he said, Sister, I chant some mantras since so many years. And earlier, when I used to chant these mantras, it was very nice for me. I was able to I was able to feel so much peace inside whenever I used to chant it. But these days, whenever I am chanting these mantras, I'm not feeling any such peace in me. So, is there any problem in my puja? I said, no, you become habitual of that mantra. Break the cycle. Change the timing. Change the rhythm of chanting. Remember consciously. You'll not get, even if you become habitual of meditation, you will not get that same peace. If you want to get that same peace and happiness through meditation, do it consciously, not habitually. Then interrupt your repetitive memories. Once you started the process of breaking your habit, you know, your memory will help you to remind the comforts of that habit which you enjoyed earlier. Your memory is so good that your memory will keep telling you, you were so habitual of this that you put all the things aside for this one behavior. You were so habitual of this that you enjoyed this so much. You were so habitual that there was nothing more important than this behavior in your life. And this repetitive memory is trying to reconvince you for that same habit. Interrupt it. When it is coming time to time again in your mind that, okay, I was habitual of this, it was fine, I was doing this, then interrupt it physically, mentally. Just throw it off and get busy in some other work. Because internally, always remember, there is one devil and one angel here inside. I really want to show you some picture like this. One day I will show you. Actually, one of my teachers, my teachers in Raj Yoga, she shows one beautiful diagram. She draw that diagram and she shows the person and there is one angel here and one devil here. And this angel and devil inside me are fighting all the time. Now it is my choice that my every act is strengthening this angel or strengthening this devil, what it is doing. So what I want to say, your repetitive memory of your habit will try to strengthen this devil inside. And what you have to do, consciously you have to make this angel to win. And all the above things needs attention and interest. Do you really want to change yourself? Do you really? Look, it is not impossible to break your habits. We'll come back to this again. If you remember, in our school days, college days, we were very habitual of one pen or one desk or something. We overcome with that habit. Na? We did so many things and we overcome that habit. In the same way, in our life, till now, we have changed ourselves a lot based on situation to situation. Think for a moment. The last and very important thing in the slide. What are the benefits when you change yourself? Know the benefits of your change. This last thing, think about yourself 1 minute. How big deals you cross through in your life. Thanks for this slide. How many big deals you have crossed till now? You were so good to change yourself, to get adjusted time to time. Since your childhood till now, you have made so many changes in your life. What happened this time? What happened this time? Why you are not able to do this time? Remember, your life is your choice, and it is easy to change with the help of attention and some of spiritual concepts. With the help of peace of mind, you can actually attain unattainable things. We have people in brahmakumaris. If you know their life history, how they have crossed from many different situations and how good they are now, you will just surprised to see that, oh my god, this was impossible. Sister, are you narrating a story? No, all these things happen in one life. It's only you. Do you know the soul power? Do you know soul power? Now come to leave all these things aside. Understand soul. Soul is eternal. Soul takes births and rebirths. Soul in one body completes its life, and after the life, soul changes that body. Don't you think soul was become habitual to live in that previous body? But now soul changes that body. And soul, because that body was no more useful for the soul. And then soul get incorporated in a new small body. That body is not that efficient also. That more body is not born, the unborn body inside mother's womb. And even there, the soul used to get incorporated there. And soul create new sanskaras. Soul has enormous power to change itself, uh, to to get adjusted in any situation. But the problem is, the biggest problem is Do I feel that I am a soul? Unless and until the number of time I keep feeling I'm Ruchi, I'm Ruchi, I'm Ruchi. This role of Ruchi is dominating over the soul power. And role of Ruchi is limited. Role of Ruchi has limited capacity, limited work power. The number of time I think I am a soul, I am acting like Ruchi. So then soul's power is dominating over Ruchi's behavior, Ruchi's role. And then Ruchi's role is beautified by this soul. So the biggest problem is I am not able to feel that I am a soul. And for this, you have to understand spirituality. There are step by step understanding of spirituality. Number one, connect to your any local center, or even we can tell you go through the foundation course of Raj Yoga meditation. These courses are composed of 7 lessons totally, which is completed according to the plan of the program. Each lesson every day, it composed of only 45 minutes to 60 minutes daily. You can even have a gap, and if you have any uh, problem or any engagement, so you can connect with your guide and you can have like if you have 1 day gap, it's no problem, you can have your next lesson little later also. Number one, the very active, very powerful foundation course. Number two, and the most important, daily murli, the murli class which we listen to. This murli class is the basic of a spirituality which helps me to understand I am soul. I am not this Ruchi all the time. And the number of time I understand that I am a soul who is helping this Ruchi to work, then I dominate over Ruchi's role. And Ruchi's role become beautiful. If I keep thinking that I am Ruchi, then Ruchi's role dominates over the soul power, and soul power is not manifesting its powers to work. So, the second step, Murli. Murli helps you to become soul conscious. And the third step is the absolute practice. This makes you number wise. Who goes first in practice? Who can practice, that person can go ahead. So, breaking the habit, what you have to do, identifying my habits, then I'm trying, giving attention, sorry, identifying my habits, and then checking the information system which is convincing me to do it. Role of intellect. Anything which you are doing, do it mindfully instead of instead of habitually. Mindfully means every time your every act, your every thought is crossing the quality control section. You are thinking what you want to think, means you are checking your every thought, it's right or wrong, good or bad, what I am going to get after this. So it is crossing through the quality control, and this will not be a behavior, not will be a habit. It will be a repetitive behavior, but it will be a conscious repetitive behavior. So it won't be a habit. If it is not a habit, it will never be painful for you or for others. And the last important thing, spirituality. The foundation concepts of Raj Yoga, daily listening to Murli, and practicing soul consciousness. These three things help to break our all tiny and hardcore habits, because soul has a capacity to actually turn around all my habits from one birth to another birth. We actually leave so many habits behind, and we start new habits. We never think about that what habits I used to be habitual of in my previous birth. We just leave it. Soul has a power to leave habits, but the only thing, I have to be in soul consciousness so that the soul power should get that priority in working. If this role gets a priority and soul power is dominated by the role, that is the problem. So I'll say, don't go in that. Here we are going to show you one video. I like this video very much. This is about habits. Habits are your small choices. So before we pack up this program, I would like to show you this video. Well, so I just want to say, how it is written very nicely here. Small choices becomes action, and actions becomes habits, and habits become our way of life. Thanks for nice video. Basically, I just want to say all the habits are created during the course of time, but it is started the first day you get convinced with it. Check yourself for what you are choosing and what you are getting convinced with. If you choose correct, if you choose, not I will say choosing positive, choosing correct, living right is important. Living positive is different, but living right is important. Doing everything you can justify your life. So help yourself to break this habit and strengthen yourself with the spirituality. The Murli class, which we go through every day, this becomes the life strength, which gives us an outlook towards the life, that how I should behave in which situation, how I should look towards myself, how I should look towards other, and how God looked towards me. And that is how our life become better in our life, in our daily routine. Today, I would like to tell you that we will not meditate with a commentary, because this year I I want to change the way of meditation, how you are meditating since previous 8-9 months. Today we will play one song here, and this is a very beautiful song, one of my favorites. Sadgun avgun ke karan koi hira hai, koi patthar hai. So this song is so nice. Listen to this song. And meditation is running your thoughts towards positive, spiritual, elevated thoughts. Slowly, if you keep listening to these songs and keep repeating these words inside your mind, slowly you will go into a meditative stage. So we will listen to this song, and thanks for this week. Om Shanti.
सद्गुण अवगुण के कारण कोई हीरा है, कोई पत्थर है। सद्गुण अवगुण के कारण कोई हीरा है, कोई पत्थर है। धरती पर स्वर्ग बसा लेना, ओ मानव तुझ पर निर्भर है। सद्गुण अवगुण के कारण कोई हीरा है, कोई पत्थर है। सद्गुण अवगुण के कारण कोई हीरा है, कोई पत्थर है। दीप जलाता चल, तू सबको गले लगाता चल। तू प्रेम, एकता, शांति, सत्य, सहयोग के रत्न लुटाता चल। गुण ही गुण भरे पड़े तुझ में, अंतर तेरा रत्नाकर है। सद्गुण अवगुण के कारण कोई हीरा है, कोई पत्थर है। सद्गुण अवगुण के कारण नदी न अपना जल पीती है, पेड़ न अपना फल खाते। पर उपकार के लिए ही हम ये अनमोल जन्म पाते। जो पर दुख को अपना माने, वो मानव देव से बढ़कर है। सद्गुण अवगुण के कारण कोई हीरा है, कोई पत्थर है। सद्गुण अवगुण के कारण कोई हीरा है, कोई पत्थर है। धरती पर स्वर्ग बसा लेना, ओ मानव तुझ पर निर्भर है। सद्गुण अवगुण के कारण कोई हीरा है, कोई पत्थर है। सद्गुण अवगुण के कारण कोई हीरा है, कोई पत्थर है। कोई हीरा है, कोई पत्थर है।